Tansei, Namieten Ota Ain. Hello, I'm happy you're here. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you would like to see more of these videos, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Additionally, if you have any ideas on what you would like to see in future videos and in future mailouts, please put them in the comment section below. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a 4-leaf clover pin for yourself ahead of St. Patrick's Day. If you sign up to receive the March 2026 mailout from the O to Pimswak Métis Government's Youth Team, your kit should include almost all of the supplies listed below. If you did not sign up or receive the March 2026 mailout kit from the O to Pimswak Métis Government's Youth Team, that's okay. You can independently purchase the supplies we list and follow along with this video. If you would like more information on future mailouts, please consider following the social media pages linked in the description below. Now, let's review the supplies needed to create our pin. 2 different colors of green seed beads in size 10. Gold seed beads in size 10 as well. Beading foundation and a beading pattern stapled or sewn onto it. Backing. A pin back. Beading thread in size D. 2 needles in size 10 or smaller. Wax or thread conditioner. Scissors. A lighter. Now that we have reviewed our supplies, let's move on to the next section of this video. Métis bead embroidery typically uses a 2-needle technique, a stringing needle and a tacking needle. The stringing needle is used to load and place beads onto the surface, while the tacking needle secures those beads in place with small stitches. This method allows for the strong attachment of beads to the beading surface and has resulted in pieces that will stand the test of time and pieces that are still standing the test of time. To help you better understand the role of each needle, I will demonstrate the 2-needle beading method using 2 different colors of thread. The stringing needle will be strung using a pink thread. Meanwhile, the tacking needle will be strung using a purple piece of thread. I have also chosen to use larger beads, needles, and a beading pattern so that the technique is easier for you to see and follow. Now that that's done, let's hop into the tutorial portion of today's video. To start, we are going to prep our stringing needle. After threading your needle, push it until it is sitting in the middle of your thread, then tie the 2 tails together in a double knot. Now, let's prep our tacking needle. After threading your needle, tie one of the thread tails in a double knot. It should look something like this. Now, we are ready to begin beading our pin. First, take your stringing needle and push it up through your beading foundation so that the needle comes out near the center of your pattern. Then, pull the thread all the way through until the knot you tied earlier sits against the back of your beading foundation. Once you have pulled your stringing needle and thread all the way through, you can trim the thread tails close to the knot, like so. Now, we are ready to begin picking up the gold beads. If you are a beginner beader, I suggest picking up only 5 beads at a time until you are more comfortable with the 2-needle method. After picking up your gold beads, slide them down the thread into place like this. Now, let's grab our tacking needle. Carefully push the tacking needle up between the first and second beads you strung, like so. Next, bring the tacking needle back down on the other side of those beads, like this. As you pull the thread through, you will notice a small thread loop forming. Continue pulling until that thread loop disappears. This creates a stitch. As you can see, the first bead can no longer move past the stitch you just created. Now, let's repeat this process until each of the beads you initially strung has been securely tacked down. Once you have successfully tacked down each of the beads you initially strung, take your stringing needle and pass it back down through your beading foundation, like this. Next, bring your stringing needle back up through the beading foundation and your pattern, like so. Add more beads to your thread and continue working along the outline of the four-leaf clover, repeating the same steps of stringing and tacking the beads into place. Take your time and be patient with yourself. Sometimes the two-needle method can be tricky, so give yourself lots of grace. I promise, as you get used to the two-needle method, it will become easier and easier. As you go along and get more comfortable with the two-needle beading method, you can start experimenting with the amount of beads you add at a time. You can also start tacking every second bead if you like. Remember that this is art and it doesn't have to be so serious, so you can definitely play around a bit. You are going to continue to outline the four-leaf clover shape using the gold beads. Once you've completed your outline, you can begin filling in your leaves. You'll notice diagonal lines within the leaves on your beading pattern. These lines are there to guide you as you start filling the leaves in. However, you're free to fill in the leaves any way that you like. If you signed up to receive a mail-out kit from the Otipemisiwak Métis government, you would receive 2 different colors of green. How you want to attach those colors to your pin is up to you. If you only want to use one, that's cool. If you want to alternate colors or do different things with them, that's cool too. We will meet back here once you've completed the beading portion of your pin. Once you've completed the beading portion of your pin, you're going to gently tear away the pattern paper from your beadwork, like so. Next, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut your beadwork away from the beading foundation. As you do so, be sure to be mindful of where your threads are. You do not want to snip your threads. If you do this, you might compromise the integrity of your beadwork. Once you've cut out your beadwork from the beading foundation, you can use a lighter to singe it down further. Just be sure not to hold your lighter in any one place for too long, or else you will burn the beading foundation. Now that you've completed cutting out your beadwork, we are in the home stretch of this project. Now, you're going to grab your backing and your glue dot. You are going to peel the film off of your glue dot like so. Next, you're going to place your glue dot sticky side down on the back of your beadwork, like this. Then you're going to apply pressure to the glue dot via pressing on the beadwork and the backing. This should help the glue dot adhere to both surfaces. Now, let's grab our handy dandy scissors and cut the shape of our beadwork out of our backing, like so. Now, we are ready to begin edging our piece. However, since some of the movements required for edging this piece are intricate, I've elected to show you how to complete the edging portion of this project using larger beads, thread, and backing. The edging we're doing today is called a 3-bead loop. To start, cut an arm span length of thread, thread it through your needle, and tie a knot at one of the tails. Next, you're going to push your needle and your thread through the beading foundation layer. This will hide your knot. Then you're going to pick up 3 gold beads. Slide those beads down your needle and thread until it's sitting flush with your beading foundation, like so. As you can see, I'm fiddling with my beads and pulling them horizontally. I'm doing this to determine how far the beads should go and where my needle should go. Once I have an idea of where I should place my needle, I push my needle from the back through the backing and the beading foundation like this. As you can see, once you pull your thread all the way through, your beads are not secure yet. To secure them, you're going to go up the last bead you added, like this. Next, you're going to go down the remaining 2 beads, like so. Now our beads are technically secure, but we want to get ourselves in a position to be able to add more beads and keep on edging. So we're going to go back up that first bead we added again, like this. Now we're ready to continue edging. To do this, pick up 2 more gold beads. Slide them down your needle and thread like this. Next, push from the back through both the backing layer and the beading foundation layer like this. And go up the last bead we added, like so. Now we're just going to repeat that process of adding 2 beads at a time until we bead all the way around our piece. We'll meet back up once we get to the end. Once you've completed edging your piece, you are now ready to complete the final step, attaching your pin. To do this, you're going to prep an arm's length of thread, thread your needle through it, and tie at least a double knot to one of the tails, like so. Next, you're going to take your pin and you're going to place it on your backing. You can play around with the positioning until you get it to whereabouts you like it. Then, you're going to push your needle and your thread up through your beadwork and through your backing, right about where one of the holes in the pin is, like so. Then you're going to stitch down on the other side of the hole like this. You are going to repeat this process until you have sufficiently tacked down the pin to the backing. Once you have sufficiently tacked down the pin, you are then going to push your needle back down so that it is facing out the beadwork and your thread is facing out the beadwork. You're just going to snip the thread and cinch it down with your lighter, and you are done. Congratulations on finishing your 4-leaf clover pin. As always, I hope you enjoyed this project. Examaga, that's all for now.